right, we're going to get started. Here we go. So we've been talking about there's an
app for that.
I'm glad one of you are paying attention. We've been talking about there's an
app for that.
Very good. There's an app for that. So tonight we're going to talk about this app called Pride. All right? Pride. Who likes pride? All right, good. All right, the Bible talks a lot about being prideful, right? And one of the verses that I want to read to you is in James chapter 4 and in verse 6, and in the second half of this verse, it says, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Okay, so if you oppose something, does that mean you like it?
Yeah,
No.
You don't like it.
If you oppose something, right? So like if I said, I oppose the Detroit Lions, that means what?
You don't like it?
I don't like them, right?
Pretty bad anyway.
Right? Yeah, well, nobody should like them anyway, but that's beside the point. God opposes the proud. He stands against the proud. God does not put up with prideful people, but he shows favor to the humble, right? So he wants you to be humble. So the app that we're going to be talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about the Pride app, okay? It is not a good app. The first app we talked about was Fear. Bad app, right? We don't want it. Second app we talked about, Pastor Anthony talked about last week was?
Grace.
Yes, grace. Do we want grace?
Yeah.
Okay, well tonight we're talking about two apps. We're talking about the app of pride, which we do not want, and the app of humility, which we do want, okay? Remember, app is short for application, right? So we do not want to apply pride to our lives. It is not something we want to download and live with, because what pride does is it's almost like a virus. Has anybody ever had a virus before, either on your computer or iPad or a laptop or phone? Anybody have one? It just ruins everything. Everything becomes destroyed because of this one thing. And you download one thing, and then pretty soon it corrupts everything. Have you ever seen that? They say, don't open that, it's a corrupted file. Don't download that, it's a corrupted whatever, you know? And you say, oh, okay, I won't do that. Because it's going to destroy you. That is what it is. I mean, it looks fine. It looks just like a regular
It's
good
very
old...
nice looking app, actually.
I know. Like, you look at it, you're like, pretty cool. Pride.
Probably would
It
though.
would take me some pride. Even when I said the word, Audrey was like, no. You know, because like when I say, who wants to have pride? You're like, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. But it's a terrible thing. And it comes upon you, and it's like a virus, and it's going to destroy your life. Okay? You don't want it. So this is what I want to tell you. Being prideful is having an excessively high opinion of oneself. That's what being prideful is. When you have an excessively high opinion. Now, God does not want you to walk around and be like, I'm stupid. I'm ugly.
Who's like that?
I'm mean. I'm unloved. I'm hated. I'm unloved.
Oh, unloved. I said alone.
No, I'm unloved. Nobody loves me.
Where's that lip quiver?
I'm so ugly. Okay, that's not what he wants us to say, right?
I thought you were being nasty first.
No. Okay, that is not how God wants us to be. But he doesn't want us to have pride. That means we are excessively, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the most wonderful, I'm so fantastic. Everybody else wishes they could be me. Okay, that bad.
What you say?
Country.
That's country means.
Right. We don't want to excessively think high of ourselves, right? That is not good. Being proud is having a feeling of deep pleasure and satisfaction because of your achievements and your quality of the possessions that you own, or being arrogant. Okay? How many of you have ever met somebody that's arrogant? Right? They are so awesome. They have the best car. They have the best house. They have the best clothes. They're so amazing. Right? And you're like, okay, well, your attitude stinks. So what good is that, right? So there are some prideful people. And there's even been times that I have misjudged somebody because they got it all together. And I'm like, they probably think they're so great. And then they don't. So I'm like, hey, you can't judge somebody by the way they look. Pride is something that comes on the inside inside of you, and then once it is downloaded, it affects your entire being. So we want instead to download the app of humility. What does humility mean? What does it mean to be humble? Humility is a modest or low view of one's own importance. It is humbleness. So it's not saying, like I said, I'm terrible, I'm ugly, I'm a rotten person, everything I do is bad, I don't know how to live, I'm terrible. That's not it. It's having a modest view of yourself, meaning life is going to go on with me or without me. People can function with me or without me. Life is going to go on. I do not control the universe. I am not the best thing in the entire world. There are people that know things more than I know, but I'm going to do the best at what I can, okay? So being humble is being meek, it's being modest, it's being submissive, and it's having a lack of vanity, okay? Vanity is something that comes with pride. When you download it, it comes into you, and pretty soon you will only think about yourself. What kind of pants you got on, what kind of shoes you got on, what kind of lipstick you're wearing, if you got enough gel in your hair, do you have the right eye makeup on, okay? Well, looking at me tonight, you're like, ooh, she was really giving an illustration. Well, that's why I look like this tonight, because I was giving an illustration, okay? Not really, but we're going to go with it anyway. All right, so what happens is there are times that we become so prideful that we can't even accomplish the things that the Lord wants because we're so stuck on ourselves and how great we are and what we can do. And so how many of you know people that only like to do things if something good is going to come from them? So like you say, hey, you want to do this? And you're like, what do I get out of it? Hey, what about this? Well, how's it going to work out for me? Okay? Those people are ridiculous. Let me just tell you. Don't be one of those kind of people. Those people have downloaded pride so much that like pride just ate up all their apps and they are just destroyed. Let me just say. All right, so yes, no more storage. Philippians 2, verse 3 and 4 says this. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Okay, so I'm not going to say, Audrey, I'm going to give you this awesome new purse so that you will be my friend so you can go here so I can show off whatever. You know, you can't do that, okay? Or I say, Kimberly, don't you want to come to my house and like you can hang out with me and you can be my friend and so that way I have 50 other people coming and it looks like I'm the coolest person in the world, okay? When you're trying to do something nice for somebody and already in your mind you have what you're hoping they do back for you, okay? That's wrong, okay? You don't do something for somebody else in the plans that they have to do something else back for you. I actually know some people like that. And there were some people that even at times had offered me money, large amounts of money, nice amounts of money. They said, we'll let you borrow this. We'll let you, do what you want. And I couldn't even do it because I knew what they would expect in return. People that want to give you something so then you have to owe them back favors. Or you have to do what they want you to do. Okay, so people that do that, they're all about their self. And they do things for selfish ambition. If I do something for you, it's because I want to do it because I want to show you love. Not because you have to do something back for me. Okay? So do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but rather in humility, value others above yourselves. Okay? I talked about Emma, she's not here tonight. But one thing that I love is sometimes you guys are like, oh my goodness, I want whatever kind of pizza it is, right? And sometimes she'll walk up and she'll be first in line. She'll say, I'll wait, so that way everybody else can get what they want and I'll take whatever's left, okay?
That is so sweet.
Yes, right? That is being humble. She didn't come there and say, I am only going to eat this kind of pizza so everybody else has to wait because I'm first in line, okay? And she didn't say it, I don't think any of you afterwards. She said, now you better let me get first in line for the drink since I let you get your pizza first. Right? Okay? I mean, I don't know, maybe she did, but I don't think so. Right? So when you do things like that, it's supposed to be because you care about other people even above your own needs. Okay? Not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. It is hard to put other people above yourself. It is hard. Like if I want to play a game and you come to my house and you came to play this game and then you're over there and you're like, ooh, this looks fun. And I'm like, that's not what you came over here to do. Okay? But no, and so I'm like, oh, that'd be great. And it might not even be something I want to do. But I put that aside because I want to honor your being, okay? It's stuff that you should learn as a child, but then it's like what happens is pride begins to grow inside of you. And so, how many of you have ever downloaded an app And at first, it didn't take up very much space on your phone. But then after you used it for a while, it started taking up more and more space. Did that ever happen to you before? Yeah. Okay. That's kind of what happens with pride. You might have downloaded pride and you might have like this little tiny piece of pride, and it might have been just about one little thing, like you super loved your eyebrows. Not mine, because they're bushes on my face. But maybe whatever it is. Maybe you just love your beautiful feet or whatever it is that you think is just so amazing. But what happens sometimes is we download that and we're prideful about something. Anthony's looking at my feet. I know they stink, so it ain't my feet either. But okay, whatever it is. You have something that is so great and you become prideful about that one thing. And then all of a sudden it starts expanding and taking up more and more storage on your phone, on your life, okay? You begin to get prideful about more and more things. Or what happens is you're so good at something, maybe playing an instrument, or maybe in a certain subject in or class at school, and people begin to tell you how awesome you are, and then pretty soon you're like, psh, I'm the best. And then you become, I'm the best at this, and I'm the best at this. And all of a sudden it starts growing and growing and growing and growing, and pretty soon you have such a big head you can't even fit it in the whole youth sanctuary, okay? Because your head's so ginormous. So it's ridiculous, and we have to control it by not only deleting the app, but it has to be replaced, okay? There are certain apps that when you delete it, you have to replace it with something else, right? Like, I personally don't like Google Maps, okay? I don't like the voice of it, I don't like the way it does, but there's another app that gives me directions that I like better. So I can delete that one, and I can download this one because it works better. So when you delete pride out of your life, you have to replace it by downloading humility. You can't live without them. You have to have one or the other. So this is what it says in Proverbs 18. This is in the Message, verse 18 and 19. First pride, then the crash. Because the bigger the ego, the harder the fall. Everybody say, the bigger the ego, the harder the fall. It's better to live humbly among the poor than to live it up among the rich and famous. It's better to not have very much, and at least you're humble about it, than to be like, oh yeah, I got it all, and be hanging out with the rich and famous because they're going to leave you, and you're going to have nothing in the end, okay? It means nothing. So there was a time when Jesus had, you guys know how many people he had in his little posse? 12 people, right?
It shrunk down to 11. But
It shrunk down. So there was two of them, these two brothers. And how many of you have ever had your mom intervene on your behalf? She'd be telling, hey, let me tell you about my kid. How great my kid is, how wonderful my kid is, how you better not be treating my kid bad. Have their mama step up, say something. So this mom, she was coming up and she was asking a favor for her children. So she went up to Jesus and she was telling Jesus, listen up, Jesus. Now, I know you got these followers and everything. I'm paraphrasing, okay? Paraphrasing means telling it in a little bit different, my own words, my own style. Okay, so here we go. So she went up to Jesus and she was like, hey, Jesus. What'd you say?
PD version.
Pastor Danae version. Say, hey, now, Jesus, listen, when you get to heaven, I'm going to need my boys to sit on the right hand and the left hand. Because my boys are good boys. My boys are the boys. All right? Like when you get to heaven and you start rolling and you start your big reign and all them angels up there worshiping, and like when you leave this earth and instead of like walking in this dirt, when you when you make it to heaven and all those things you talk about become true, I need my babies beside you, okay? So these other 10 people, they need to just be wherever else, doing whatever else. But my babies go right up in the front, okay? That's what she said, right? Okay, I mean, she wasn't talking exactly like this, but all right? So she's like, my son James and my son John, they go right up there on either side, and people need to notice my babies. You don't know what all I did for my babies, so they belong up there in the front, okay? All right? They going right up there, bypassing all of you, okay? So that's what happens. What do you think the other 10 people think about that? Right? They're like, no thanks, right? So when the other 10 heard of this conversation, they lost their tempers with James and John. Now, was it James and John who asked?
Yeah.
It was their mama, right? But what happens is when people are talking about lifting you up to this place of honor and lifting you up above everybody else and saying, you are so amazing, you belong in a better place than everybody else, it makes everybody else mad. What would happen if you guys came into youth group and I said, I'm sorry, I only bought pizza for Olivia. And then you guys went over to the drink counter and we were like, oh, all of those drinks are just for Olivia. I'm so sorry. And what if you went to sit in a chair and I said, oh, please just sit on the floor so Olivia can have her pick of the chairs, okay? Thank you.
Olivia.
And then we go to sing a song and I say, oh, wait, Olivia, do you like this song? Because if you don't like the song, we won't sing this song, okay, Olivia? I mean, you guys would be like, forget you, I ain't coming back here no more, right? And so that's sort of what happened. They become upset. They are losing their tempers. Olivia didn't ask to be the favorite. I just started favoring her, right? And then you all be mad at Olivia. All right, so Jesus got them together and he tried to settle this all down. And he said, you've observed how godless rulers throw their weight around. He said, when people get a little bit of power, how quickly it goes to their heads. And it is not going to be that way with you. He said, this is not how my people are going to act. Okay? Not how it's going to be. This is not how God's people are going to act. He said this, whoever wants to be great must become a servant. And whoever wants to be first among you must be your slave. That is what the Son of Man has done. He came to serve and not to be served, and then to give away his life in exchange for many who are held hostage. So Jesus said, we are not going to let, I am not going to let my buddies, my friends, my followers walk around with Proud downloaded on their smartphones. Not going to let it. Because my people, the people that are hanging with me, the people that are going with me, are going to be humble people. They're going to be people that walk in humility. They're going to prefer other people. They're not going to be worried where they're at and what status they have. My people are going to serve and be slaves to other people. If you guys came in tonight and I said, all right, which I asked you guys, are you most excited about squads or camp or Texas? And you guys were naming me stuff. What if I was like, are you guys most excited about squads or camp or Texas or being slaves? How many of you would be like, ooh, sign me up. I didn't even know I could be a slave. I mean, how many of you were like that? Okay? It's not the first thing that pops into our mind, but it's actually what God wants of us. He wants us to be humble. And everybody wants to do the jobs that everybody sees. And nobody wants to do the jobs nobody sees. If I said, everybody needs a job in church, how many of you would say, sign me up to clean the toilets? Anybody? No. Okay? But how many of you would love it if you walked into the bathroom on Sunday morning and there was just bathroom waste all over the whole bathroom?
Okay.
What if you went to go to the bathroom and there was no toilet paper in the toilet paper? Or if you went to wash your hands and there was no soap? Okay? Not the best of things, right? What happens? How many of you say, ooh, I would just love to dust? That sounds so good, dusting. Vacuuming. Ooh, I mean, what would happen when Pastor Anthony comes in here and he vacuums and he pulls every week a thing of dirt and dust and I'm not sure what else you guys got in there. A whole thing of it every week, and I say, they're only in there for a couple of hours. How does that happen? How does that happen? I don't know. But you know what? It would be nasty up in here if we didn't do it, right? So it's not the job. You don't say, this is our vacuum cleaner, Anthony. How many of you guys introduce him as that? No? You don't? I mean, you don't introduce him as this is our Italian cream shake maker, Anthony. You don't introduce them as that. The shake maker, whatever. That's not things that people are not going to say, whoa, you do that? How cool is that? Okay, they're not going to say that. But you have to live a humble life and do the things that you do for the Lord. So you have to download.
Humility.
Yes, there we go. So right now I want you guys to bow your heads. I want you to close your eyes.